Listen, I thank every last single one of you that took your time out of your Sunday. I mean, Sunday's a precious day to many of us. But you took time to come out here to be with me as we're opening up our campaign headquarters.
Thank you.
It's been a journey getting here. But you know, we've been committed. Many of you know, I'm so glad there's so many of you that I've known for so long. You know my commitment for the last 11 years, and I'm going to keep this little speech here real light, but you know my commitment to the city of Norwalk. You know my commitment to you. You know, I'm so grateful that Mr. Burgess is here because it was his wife that gave me the title Morris is for us back in 2007 as a campaign slogan. But quite frankly, it's been more than a slogan. It's what really means something to me, because for every campaign and whatever I do, it really has never been about me, it's been about us. And right now, that's why I'm running for mayor, because I'm concerned about us. I've spent the last 11 years in the state legislature voting for tough budgets that would protect us. I took the tough votes to make certain that our social nets were protected, to make certain that working class people were protected. I made promises to the people in this city. And I went there that, guess what, education was something that was paramount, that was foundational to everything that we do. And that I would go there and make a difference, making sure that all children could learn. That I would reform education. Everybody knows our 2008 Act of Education Reform. I helped write it with other legislators, and I'm proud of it. ECS is different. I had made promises that I held to. I argued back in 2006 that it doesn't make sense that we're spending 4 times more money to put people in prison rather than in schools. Glad to say that today, you know what, we've reduced our prison population by a few thousand. All right, you have inmates that now, in the future, in the past, they didn't have a chance to get second employment because of their record, but now they don't have to fill in that box. We create a lot of opportunities. I'm not going to go on and on, because like I said, I want to keep this lighthearted. But everybody knows the promises that I kept. So, fast forward now to 2017. I'm looking at state budgets. We still don't have a state budget right now. And the reality is the state budgets are going to continue to get harder. But the state has done an awful lot to reposition ourselves, retool ourselves, but the cities have done nothing to follow up on that. So I recognize it's my expertise that can come make the difference. Why? Because you take a look at all the development that's happening in this city. Hundreds of millions of dollars, or $1 billion worth of development. But how many of you has it actually affected you? I have a plan for economic development that I'm not going to go into detail right now, but you know what? It's about Norwalk first. It's not just about building buildings to have something adding to your grand list. It's about having businesses that are from Norwalk partaking in those jobs. Businesses in Norwalk becoming millionaires. It's about the workforce here in Norwalk. How many of you have a child or you know someone who went to our Norwalk schools, went to college, and can't even afford to live here? Can't even afford to live in the city. Housing is skyrocketing, but their wages aren't doing anything. They're saddled with debt. But we're doing all this development. So I believe in working within a framework of what you call smart growth economic development. And I'll be talking more about that as we get through the campaign. But smart growth economic development, not to try to get too wonky for everybody, but it's a framework of 3 different things that you consider when you do development. You must consider business development, workforce development, and quality of life. How does it enhance all 3? And that's where my focus will be, because we're doing a lot of development right now, but I don't care what part of the city you go to. People say it's really not enhancing my quality of life, and they're concerned. We live in one of the most diverse cities in the state of Connecticut, I think quite frankly, in the country. And I'm glad to see that, you know, all of you that are here today, you just got noticed 24 hours ago, and yet you showed up. Thank you. Give yourselves a hand. I thank you. Such short notice. Because I lost my thought on that one. But anyway, we're the ones that make the difference. Yeah, that's it. It has to do with diversity. So I take a look here because I know the one thing I've always been proud of, I represented the most diverse district, I think, in the city. One of the most diverse districts. All right? And for this city to become self-sustainable, and that's what I want to work towards, a model of self-sustainability, where you recognize, and guess what, you've got the diversity, but you need to leverage that diversity. Because we haven't done that. When we take a look at the diversity, people think, well, it's our poor folks, it's our people of color or whatever. But you know, when you leverage diversity, you recognize that everyone is an asset. Everyone has quality. And how do you lift them up? How do you lift standards? How do you lift people out of poverty? In the city of Norwalk, we can do this. We can do this. You take a look at the development alone, and we create greater opportunities for our own people, our own kids. That'll make a difference. It goes back to affordable housing. You know, I was talking to somebody else. I said, gee, you're right. You know, I need help with 35%, 65% median income. But, you know, that's always talking about dumbing things down. I want to raise up the quality of life, the standard of living for the people that live here. That's what we ought to do in the state. So, we're here today because now's the time, now's the hour. I mean, I had only been a state representative maybe by the time my second term, and many people asking me, listen, you're going to run for mayor. We want you to run for mayor. I've been asked for the longest time. I said, no, it wasn't time. It wasn't time. I'm saying right now is the time. Right now is the critical time. Why? Because I am the person who is best suited to go to Hartford and actually get something done for you. I've done it for the last 11 years. I'm on the right committees. I've gotten the things done. I'm the person as a mayor who's not going to doesn't need to send a lobbyist, doesn't need to send my deputy. I know the people there. I know the direction that the state is going. I know how to piggyback on the good initiatives that are there and make them happen here in this city. I've worked in our school system. I don't just talk about diversity. You know the life I've done. I'm looking at some of our members here that were from our PEP class, People Empowering People. I did that class for years, primarily recognizing our Latino community that's here, is growing. You know what? We need to make certain that, guess what, everyone has a voice in civil government. Yes. Everyone needs to have a voice. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you clapped on it. That's right. Everyone needs to have a voice. You noticed on my card, one of the things I've had as my goal is dealing with establishing inclusive, transparent, and civil processes for responsive government. That's been my life from the beginning. I always make sure every stakeholder is involved. I mean, I think it's a tragedy that you have a common council that has to go vote on an architect for schools, and you got Republican members saying, listen, I don't have the packet, I don't even have the information, and you still vote on it. I don't care what party you're in. If you're an elected member of government, you ought to have all the information so that you can actually make responsible decisions. We're doing $100 million, or in excess of $100 million school improvement. All right, and that whole plan happened. Everyone knows. People in South Norwalk said, "Listen, we're not involved." From January almost to October of last year, everything was done in meetings that weren't even public. And in the end of the day, decisions got made that contradicted the will of the very people that were supposed to benefit. So Bruce Morris is for us. I'm for all of us. I'm here to run for the mayor of the city. Now, what's going to be important? So it's critical. It's a crucial time because we only have 5 weeks left. All right. I understand that the incumbent may have as much as $150,000. So you know what my appeal is? You may have $150,000. I'm looking for 150 volunteers. You can have the money. There you go. And why do I say that? I'm out to try to restore government back to the people. Back to the people. Money influences too much of the decisions that happen. All right? You know what? So I'm willing to put everything on the line, and people can look in the past about the decisions that I've made. My health, by the way, is very good right now. Doing very well. Yes. Very well. That's what coaching about. It's been fantastic. But I'm still taking everything I have, and I'm putting on a line for this city. I'm taking on my experience, my ingenuity, but more important, I want to take on everyone that will join the Morris is For Us campaign. It'll say it's all of us, that we're all in this together. And if we all do this together, whether it's people in Silvermine, who I love that area, we talk about the diversity of the city, with your Silvermine Guild, your Arts Guild, the Cranberry area, where people have this wonderful bedroom community, or whether we talk about our urban core between districts A and B, pulling all this together. We may have some divergent interests sometimes, but there's a common bond that we have. The success of our children, the future of the city, that our taxes are low, that we're all safe, and that's what I'm here to fight for, and I need your help to do it. So, there you can clap one more time. And I'm glad I'm surrounded by family. This is my wonderful wife. She's been my chocolate rock. I don't want to mess up the number of years. It's been since 1979. my daughters, I got both my daughters here, Gwen and Tasheen. I've got grandchildren here. But then I've got all of you. We're all a family. So what are we going to need to do? So we've already got this office set up with 7 phones. We're going to need to do a bunch of phone banking. If you're on the phones, we're calling people, letting them know that, listen, Representative Bruce Morris, he served you well in the state of Connecticut. Every promise that he made, they weren't just political promises, he got them done. And he's saying he's ready to come here and take over the helm of the city of Norwalk, restore your government back to you, make certain the things that you are important to you, that your voices are heard, that we have a strategic plan. By the way, I know if another candidate is doing that, but if you check the history, ever since 2006, you'll see everything I've ever done recorded. Bruce Morris has advocated for a strategic plan for the state of Connecticut. It needs to happen in cities. Bruce Morris will make certain that that happens. So, we'll be phone banking. Want to get people to help identify people. Let them know that Bruce Morris is running. Let's get them identified there. We've got lawn signs. People have already given us a call, but I'm asking you to, guess what? Get your friends. Let's get them signed up. If you're here today, sign up. I'm taking a lawn sign. Let us know where you're taking it so we know where they are. We're going to be using social media all the more. So I'm asking you to drive people to the Morris is For Us Facebook page. Why? Because any events that we'll be doing in the future, that's how we're going to try to notify people. We know everyone isn't on digital, but we'll be doing that. You also have morrisisforus.org. That is our webpage, just to keep people apprised of what we're doing. All right? But this is not Bruce's campaign. This is our campaign. So it's Morris is For Us. Can we do it?
Yeah.
Do I have your help? Huh?
Debate.
Oh, the debate dates? Oh, okay. I don't have them all in my hand right now, but yeah, but we have a number of debates that are coming up. And it's great if you can be there. We're doing one at South North Community Center. I believe it's October the 19th. All right. There's another one October 29th. I think it's the League of Women Voters is doing theirs, and then the Chamber of Commerce. I would need my phone. But if you go to those web pages, you'll be aware of the debates. And I think this is an election to really pay attention to. Pay attention to the debates. Because this will be one where I feel very confident the issues will really be discussed. This is not going to be about, you know, who looks the best, or who can shake hands the best, who's actually knocked the most doors. I know the press is covering, and I'm glad that they'll be covering, because there's a lot of issues that are really key to the city right now. So please pay attention to that. I've talked longer than I expected to, and I can go on and on, so I'm going to shut it up. Again, I want to start with just thanking each one of you. So by the way, headquarters will be open. Tentatively, our plan is right now that we can open up at least from minimum at least from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Mondays through Fridays. On Saturdays, we may do something where, that's what I say, pay attention to the webpage. We may do something like from 8 until 10 in the morning, just so we can kind of get people out to help knock doors or do what we're doing that. Then maybe come back later on in the afternoon again, doing like the 3 to 8 o'clock. So we appreciate anyone. Guess what? Even if you know that I can only contribute an hour a week, fine. An hour a week over the next 5 weeks, that makes a big difference. If it's 2 hours only on one day, we appreciate it. That'll still get us to 150 volunteers, which guess what? In my mindset, each volunteer does a whole lot more damage than $1,000.
Yeah.